We need it because the creative industries in the city hasn't been mapped for almost 10 years. So the last time it was mapped was Bob Consultancy, who did it ages ago. So now we realised 2 years ago we didn't really know what we had, how many businesses, what the challenges were, what their needs were, and what kind of subsectors they were in. So we realise now that they've changed significantly from 10 years ago, which is a good thing for us to know. And the other reason is we realised that there was an AHRC bid call for a lot of money come out of the industrial strategy from government, and York only businesses who were actively seen by Nesta as a creative cluster could apply. So we realised then that York wasn't even on the map. Now, I know from working with the creative industries over 10 years in the city that we have got a really healthy and lively creative industry sector. So for me it was really important that we map the sector, understand it, have a point of focus for the next 5 years, and make sure that we are visible to the rest of the UK and the rest of the world. So that was the rationale.
Now, what's some of the most exciting things that have come out of this process for you?
The most exciting things that have come out of this process for me are probably the enthusiasm and interest in the business community to work with us and to work together and collaborate in the city. The strength of the sector generally and the creative industries, and some of the exciting stories that came out of the process. And realising that actually many of our businesses are world leading. I mean, one of the results that we found interesting in the survey was there are more businesses in the creative sector in Europe working across Europe than are working in Yorkshire. And there are more sales in Europe than there are in Yorkshire with our businesses. So their majority were over 10 years old. It's a mature sector, they're lively, they're robust, they have multiple offices, they're working across the world. And in Europe. So for us that was a really exciting thing. And the other really exciting thing we've discovered is we have a really interesting emerging immersive tech sector, which is clustering around the Catalyst. Now that sector is going to be massive for the UK and will create something that could be world leading in terms of audiences of the future, and in terms of how we create immersive content for training, for the medical sort of industries, but as well as the entertainment industries and gaming. And for us that's really exciting. There's only 4,500 businesses doing that in the UK, and we've got actually quite a good cluster happening over in the Catalyst, which is exciting.
And with this strategy, the drive behind it and everything, in 5 years' time, what are the tangible benefits do you think York will see?
So we're going to see an awful lot of growth. We're hoping to raise it from £140 million economic contribution to 195 million. I think that's right. I want to check the strategy. We want to increase the creative startups by 10%. So we already have within the inner ring road 580 businesses in the creative sector, so we want to make that 10% more. And we also want to make sure there's a really good talent pipeline. We've got some interesting businesses in immersive tech, but we've also got an interactive media course at the university, augmented and virtual reality courses at York St John, which will happen this year. So we have the talent pipeline in order to really create high growth in the creative sector in the city. And for us it's important that we plug those exciting students and really clever students into businesses in the city, the little SMEs, the micros, to make sure that we have that talent for the future in the city. Because York's a fabulous place to live. It's great to start a family here. It's the safest city in the world. It's got a fabulous tourist economy of 7 million tourists. But what we also have is this really innovative, cutting edge, world leading edge to us, and we need to be seen for both. And that to us is the future of York.
So exciting times.
Very exciting, yeah.